you what's been on my mind. Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far.
Well, good morning everyone, and welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. I am so very glad you are here. Today you are in my kitchen and we are making a maple walnut cake. I am super excited about this recipe. Never made it before, so we're gonna see how this works out. So let me just go ahead and tell you. First of all, I am absolutely the world's worst about getting the recipes in the description. So what I'm going to start doing, just in case, I'm still going to try to get it in there, but just in case I don't, I want to give you the recipe to begin with, or the amounts to begin with. I want to go ahead and do that just in case. So go grab you a piece of paper, hit pause, go grab you a piece of paper, and I'm going to go through the ingredients of the cake. And then I'll go ahead and tell you the ingredients to the glaze on top, but I'll tell you again when we make it. So hit pause, go grab you a piece of paper and a pen, and jot it down as we go. Okay? All right. So I'm assuming everybody's got their piece of paper now, and we're going to go through this. I'm so excited about this. Okay. So what you're going to need is a cup and 3/4 of walnuts. And I toasted them in the oven at 325 for about 10 minutes. They didn't get like brown toasty. It just kind of toasted them just a little bit. And then you can either chop them with like a cabbage chopper. Let me show you. For Christmas, Bryant got me a food processor. And that's what I used. I put them in my food processor. You could probably do it if you have like a Ninja bullet thing. But you can chop them with this. But you want to chop them pretty fine. I really don't know how fine they need to be. So I kind of went with a coarse fine. Does that make sense? Let's see if I can show you. This is what I went with. So, and there's some more powdery than others, but I did chop it fine, but not into a powder or not into walnut butter. Okay, so you're going to need a cup and 3/4 of the toasted chopped walnuts. If I say pecans, forgive me, it's walnuts, okay? You're going to need 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. You're going to need a teaspoon of baking powder. You're going to need 1 1/4 cup of butter, which in the United States, that's 2.5 sticks. So a cup and a half of room temperature butter. So be sure to have it room temperature. You're going to need 5 eggs. 5 eggs. Okay, you're going to need a cup and 1/4 of sugar. A cup and 1/4 of sugar. You're going to need like a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. And you're going to need, y'all know I love anything maple. I love anything maple. So you're going to need a 1/2 cup of maple syrup. You're also going to need 3/4 of a teaspoon of maple flavor and maple extract or whatever. Now, that is it for the cake. That's it for the cake. For the glaze, you're going to need a cup of powdered sugar. You're going to need 3 tablespoons of maple syrup and maybe a 1/2 teaspoon of the maple extract. So you're going to have a maple glaze on top. So this was the end of my maple syrup. So hopefully I have another jar of maple syrup. So we'll check that out. So, and you're going to bake it at 350 for 1 hour. 350 for 1 hour. So let me get my mixer out and we will get started putting this together. So I forgot to tell you, if you're using unsalted butter, you want to add a pinch, maybe a fourth to a half a teaspoon of salt. I use salted butter, so I do not add the salt. That is just a personal preference of mine. And you want to get all the salt. So, all the salt, all the butter. So I am cleaning off because it was really good and soft. I had it really good room temperature. Now the half one, I forgot it. So it's soft, but not quite as soft as the 2 sticks. So what I'm going to do is, some people say the mixer's loud and then others say it's not bad at all. So I need to let the butter and the sugar fluff together. And you know what you could probably do? You could probably half the white sugar and add brown sugar, but I'm going strictly by the recipe, which it said a cup, what was it? A cup and a fourth of sugar. So I'm going to mix together my butter and my sugar. I'm going to go ahead and turn the butter on real quick. And then we're going to slide over here and just mix in our baking powder. Let me get you guys turned down where you can see here. All right, and I'm just going to mix in the sugar. And don't forget, in case I forget to mention it later, you always want to scrape the bowl. All right, so now you and I are going to come back over here, whoopsie, to our flour and our teaspoon, was it a teaspoon? Yes, a baking powder. And I'm just going to mix it in, being sure I'm getting every bit of it. And I'm going to just kind of whisk that in a little bit just to get it a pre-start. All right. So now we're going to come back over to our sugar and butter, and we're going to add in our eggs. I'm getting everything moved out of the way so I can get over there. All right, there's a little more sugar left. All right, so I'm going to add the eggs one at a time. And I'm going to do it in this bowl because I have gotten a shell before. And especially if the eggs are at room temperature, which these are, the shells get a little, I don't know, I think they soften a little bit, or I don't know what the word I'm looking for, become a little more brittle. And I'm actually going to crack the rest of them and see if I can pour them one at a time. Let's see if I can do that. I did 2. We'll do 2 at a time. Can I go in with just 1? Yes! Look at there. All right, so that means I'm going to finish cracking the last 2 in this bowl. So a total of 5 eggs going in one at a time. If you can. If 2 slips in, it's okay. I'm going to turn it up to the next. Man, we did that good. We did that super good. Now, you always kind of want to go in. Now, let me take a note. This, in the recipe, it did say this will look curdled And I'll show you that it does. They said, but that's the way it's supposed to look because there's so much liquidy stuff in here, and the butter, there was lots of butter. Let's see if I can, I need to scrape the sides anyway. You can see that it kind of has a curdled appearance, and that is normal. That's what you want right now. It will all come together when we get it put together. All right, I'm going to finish adding all the liquids. I'm also getting down to the bottom because I want to be sure everything is off the bottom. All right, I'm going to finish adding in the liquids. So I'm going to go in with the vanilla. I'm going to go in with 3/4 of a teaspoon, 3/4 of a teaspoon of the maple extract. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to use a 1/2 teaspoon. And I'm just going to fill it up halfway this time. Whoops. A little much. There we go. All right. That way I don't mess up the other set of... All right. And I'm going to go in with the maple syrup. Now, I may be doing this completely out of order as the recipe. So if you want to follow the recipe, you know, I'll try to find it. I'll try to find the link to it and put that in there as well. But I like to add the the flour last because you don't want to over mix it once the flour is added. Because if you over mix flour, it can become tough. You're overworking the gluten, and so it can become tough. So I am going to take my little spoon here, and we're going to start adding in the flour. I'm going to turn it down. Oops, look at that. Did you see me spill all that flour? Oh my word. I got a mess to clean up over here. And it didn't spill much out of the bowl. I've moved the spoon and flipped the spoon, and it went everywhere on the floor. I hope that wasn't all the baking powder. All right, let me give it a good little go. All right, and I'm going to scrape the sides real quick. Man, what a mess I have. And I can't tell how much flour I lost. Well, y'all see the real deal. I'm telling you, the real deal. So now I'm going to incorporate these, the walnuts, into the cake batter. My oven is preheating. And we're only going to let this go just until they're incorporated. Like I said, we don't want to overwork the flour. Looks good to me. Let me get my pan out and I'll meet you back right here. Taking just a minute to wash down my mixer and clean up. I like to clean as I go. Now that only applies to while I'm cooking. If we have a family meal, I don't mind leaving the dishes because I'd rather spend time with my family, and that's just my preference. I know some people can't relax And if it's just me and Bryant eating supper, I might clean up before sitting down. But with the family here, I want to I want to spend my time with them. So let me put this away and I'll meet you with the cake pan and my batter in just a minute. Okay, everyone, so I'm going to use my bundt pan and I always spray it. Now, if you want, because there's so many different crevices in this, I'm not going to butter the inside and flour like the old-timey way. I think this works wonders. So I'm going to go over to the kitchen sink, like I'd be going to the bathroom sink. But I'm going over here and we're going to give it a spray. And be sure to spray up the tube part also. Okay, so let me tell you, in regards to me throwing the flour all over the kitchen, if you're new here, it would not be the farming pastor's wife if there was not some sort of blooper or oops, something in the oops department. So it's actually kind of become quite a game for some of my viewers to come and see what kind of blooper I have. If it's not coming to see what kind of blooper I have, it's coming to see what joke or thing Bryant's going to say. And if you're new here, Bryant is my husband. He and I both are, well, of course, he's a pastor, as you can tell from the title of my channel, which is our main job. Nothing will ever supersede that in any way, shape, or form, because that not only is it's our calling, it's our world, it's what we do, and but along with pastoring, we're also commercial poultry farmers. We also have a cow-calf operation. I get asked, what is a cow-calf operation? It's just where you have mother cows and usually a bull. And we actually have 2 herds, so we have 2 bulls. We have lots of mama cows. They have a calf. And when they are old enough and big enough to kind of, because you don't want them to breed necessarily with their dad, what we do is we take that calf, you know, once it's on its own, we take it and sell it to another farmer, or, you know, whoever buys it. We take it to auction, and then the process starts all over. Sometimes we keep the calf and move it to the other herd where it's with the other bull. So, but we have 6 commercial poultry houses, and I like to cook. In fact, I love to cook. It's actually part of my calling, I think. So, all right, guys, there is this beauty. This, I'm telling you, is a maple lover's dream. I can smell it. Oh my goodness. It is beautiful. So, okay, we're going in a 350-degree oven for 1 hour, or until the probe or knife or whatever you stick down in it comes out clean. Okay, everyone, so the timer just went off, and it's time to see if this cake is done. I haven't looked, I haven't peeked, I haven't done anything. So, oh, it looks good. Okay, there it goes. And I'm just going to take a knife. I just take a sharp knife. Came out clean over there. Let's try it over here. Perfect. All right. That cake is done. We can cut that off. I'm going to set it over here. I have a rack, a cooling rack, so we're going to let it sit. I obviously had a little more batter on one end than I did the other, but there's what it looks like so far. Now, we're going to let it cool for about 20 minutes. And then we're going to put it on a cake stand. And let me just say, let me show you my cake stand. Got it out and washed it. So you want to be sure you've got a little bit of a lip because we're going to add a glaze. So anytime you're adding a glaze, you want to be sure you have a little bit of a lip so there's no spillage of the glaze on your counter and you make a big mess. And so that goodness is contained, and when you cut you a slice of cake, you can just kind of scrape your knife or your spoon or whatever through that excess glaze and have some deliciousness. So anyway, okay, it is ready, and we're going to let this cool for about 20 minutes, and then we'll see if it dumps out nicely. We'll see you in a little bit. All right, so this is the scariest part of it all, is turning the cake out of the cake pan. Now it has cooled between 10 and 20 minutes, so I can touch the pan, so that's good. Now the Baker's Joy that I sprayed the pan with, it works. Yes, I checked my mic. It works wonders with my pound cake and so forth. But with it being a new batter, I'm a little nervous, and especially it being sticky with the maple syrup in it. So let's do this. I just place my cake plate and kind of center it best I can. I heard a flop. I heard it flop, so that's a good sign. Look at there. Absolutely, look at there. Okay, so we are going to let this cool completely before we glaze it, because we want the glaze we want it to pour down the side, but we don't want it to melt down the side and nothing be left on top. So we're going to let this cool completely. I'm not going to put the lid on the cake stand. We're just going to let this sit out and cool, and we'll make the glaze in just a little bit. So I'm excited, y'all. This cake, oh me, it could be dangerous. If it is as good as it smells and as mapley as I want it to be, I may be in trouble. Hey everyone, okay, let's get this glaze together. What I have, the ingredients are a cup of powdered sugar, 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, and half a teaspoon of maple flavoring or extract. A viewer sent me this. This is from Doodle's Sugar Bush Farm. Pure Michigan maple syrup, grade A, amber color, and rich flavor. From our family farm to your table since 1998. So, all right. We are going to put in, hang on, let me get you guys turned down so you can see what I'm doing. I have a little mixing bowl with a spout because that's going to make it easy to pour. Three tablespoons of maple syrup. I'm going to use my little spatula to get every bit of that goodness out. Oh my. We have here half a teaspoon of maple extract. And I'm just going to give this a stir till we create a pretty little glaze. And we may need to add a little bit more of the syrup just because it looks awful thick. And if that doesn't thin it out, I'm going to add some water. I think I want to add a little bit of water because I want it to be a little bit pourable. I mean, not a lot pourable. Let me just grab a splash of water here. You could use milk, heavy cream, it doesn't matter. It does all this, it all does the same things. So now you just got to mix because you want to get that maple syrup in there. And I may have got it a little too thin there. So this is another great teaching moment. When you get it too thin, you just add a little more powdered sugar. So let me grab that. And we'll just add a spoonful at a time and stir it and get it to where maybe I shouldn't have added the water. So I went in with 2 extra spoonfuls of powdered sugar, and I think that'll be good. All right, we'll try this and see. Let me, oh my, y'all, I just love anything maple so much. Let me get this done and I'll tell you one of my favorite things in the world, and it's gonna fix to happen in the fall. All right, so I'm just going to drizzle this across the top and just let it run where it wants to. Bryant said he would be back in just to give him a call and he would be happy to come taste test. But you know what? As much as I love maple stuff, I don't think I need a taste tester. I think I can handle it. All right, let me get my spatula and see it puddles up in the center. And it runs down the edge, and that's just more goodness for you to get. All right. Now, you might not want to thin your glaze down quite as much as I did, but that's okay. This is my first time doing it, and I wanted it to pour, but I may have gotten it too thin, but that's okay. It's still going to be delicious. And I think the cake is absolutely beautiful. I mean, really? Can this cake get any prettier? In fact, I believe it's time for a thumbnail picture. Okay, I have enlisted a taste tester, even though I think I could handle this job by myself.
The one and only.
I think I could handle this.
Think so?
Yes.
It smells good.
I think I could handle this job by myself. But I know he would feel left out. So here it is again. Isn't that beautiful?
It smells delicious.
It smells heavenly is what it smells like. All right, you get the camera situated how you want it.
Then watch you cut that piece of cake.
And it is a tougher cake because of the walnuts in it.
Show me that piece coming out there. Look at there.
Oh,
Beautimous
yum.
right there. Beautimous.
Yum, yum, yum. All right, let me get a couple of forks here. He's got him some milk ready. I think I had, look, I got coffee perked.
Why do you have coffee perked?
Cause.
Cause why?
Thought I might need it.
All right, here we go. Let's see what we got, guys.
I'm going first.
Can I use your same fork?
Go right ahead.
It don't bother me. We're married.
We're married, we kiss.
All right, here we go. Still warm. Oh, really good.
That is good.
The glaze is not overpowering.
You want your milk? Y'all, I like maple anything so good. We go to a fair And they make maple, a company comes down from Vermont. Wait, oh.
I was getting some glaze.
A company comes down from Vermont. And they make maple cotton candy.
And the nuts, you would think with that amount of nuts it might be too much, but they're so fine.
Yeah, I chopped them, I ground them up pretty fine. That's good, isn't it? That's really good. All right.
Definitely a keeper.
Might make that for homecoming.
People always ask me.
Our next potluck at church.
They ask her, does Brian always like everything you cook?
Look how moist that piece is right
And the
there.
answer to that is no.
No, he doesn't.
And how do I tell you?
He'll say, it's good, but you don't have to make it again. But that's a make again.
There's been a few things that hadn't made it to the video.
That's true.
Because if we don't like it,
And if he can't,
And I-
even just say,
if I can't make a face and say it's good, we want you guys to make things that are good.
we want to be honest and tell you and share with you the good things. So I think this one is super good. Do you like it?
Yeah, really good.
But I'm the big maple fan.
Yeah, my favorite, lemon pound cake.
Yeah, well, that's just a given. That's kind of my signature cake, the lemon pound
Or
cake.
your Italian cream cheese. I love
But
that.
I'm loving this because of the
This
maple.
is really good. A great fall cake.
I'm loving this because of the maple.
Can't go wrong with it. And it's got, like I said, it's not too overpowering. That it just melts together really well.
Yep. Super good.
Yep.
All right. Well, there you have it. I will either share the link where I got this in the description down below, or I'll type out the recipe. But if by chance that doesn't happen, be sure that you wrote it down as the video went, because I shared that with you. So, okay. All right. We'll see you guys next time on The Farm and Pastor's Wife. Remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. Bye, y'all.